backyards, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
From novice to aficionado, find yourself here. High quality cigars plus personal customer service. Slow Burn is Waco's only mobile cigar lounge, featuring a meticulous, curated collection of premium cigars. Visit our website, www.slowburnwaco.com. That's www.slowburnwaco.com.
We're opening the door to better financial services, better experiences, better partnerships, better technology, better communities, and a better future.
At Tyson, we know taste is local. Some like their beef pit smoked, their chicken spiced all the way up, or their pork sweet and saucy. Local flavors, global impact. That's what feeding the world is all about.
For 5-star backyards, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
HBCU, league pass. Watch your favorite black colleges. Some of the best players in the land. HBCU, league pass. It's game time, I'm proud and I love my HBCU. HBCU, league pass. Watch your favorite black colleges. Some of the best players in the land. HBCU, league pass. It's game time, I'm proud and I love my HBCU.
This is Brian Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
Are you ready? It's time. The inaugural Urban NerdCon is coming to Montgomery, Alabama, July 29th through the 31st. Blurs, nerds, and geeks from across the universe will converge on the capital city to see celebrity guests such as The Last Dragon, Tybok, Megan Tandy, and voice actor Dave Fennoy.
Hey, how you doing? I'm voice actor Dave Fennoy with a shout out to all my geeks, freaks, and urban nerds. Just want to let you know I'm going to be there and I want to meet you at the Urban NerdCon Gaming and Cosplay event. It's happening July 29th through the 31st in Montgomery, Alabama. Hope you want to meet me as much as I want to meet you.
So join us by visiting theurbannerdcon.net for ticket and vendor information. This will be the premier blurred event in the universe. Theurbannerdcon.net. Our heroes, our villains, our stories, everyone's con. See you there.
Mobile banking from Truist actually works for you. It gives you simple, smart, personalized insights to keep you one step ahead. Because we think that's the kind of control you deserve over your money. When you start with care, you get a different kind of bank. Truist. Download the mobile app now.
Good afternoon and welcome to game number 2 on day 2 of the Tyson Foods Black College World Series here. This is a semifinal matchup in the NAIA bracket between the Florida Memorial University Lions and the Edward Waters University Tigers. Brian Fulford and Nick Strong, soon to be joined by Alex Weich, here to call today's game. Nick, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm feeling good, man. Good day for baseball. It's elimination day, but right now it's advancement day. The advancement round. Winner gets to advance to the, championship round, or the championship of the winner's bracket round. Rather, you win your first 2 games, and you played for the right to go into the championship on Saturday.
Definitely. The first session, the morning and early afternoon, is about advancing.
Yes.
And at night, it's about elimination. So
loser go home.
Last 2 games, loser goes home. And the last 2 games of the day. Edward Waters starting out as the visitors in the purple uniforms there. There's a foul ball coming our way. And for Edward Waters there, number 2, Keelan Washington leading off here, the senior from Orange Park, Florida. Right outside of Jacksonville with the Trinity Christian Academy. Hometown kid for Edward Waters.
Yeah, I got a chance to see that school in the facilities last week. That's a really popular school up there in the Jacksonville area, and if he's anything like he was in high school, just the skill set that you could get coming from that high school, then we know Keelan Washington will be a pretty good ball player. We've already seen Keelan Washington. We saw him last night, Brian, and we saw him last year, if you remember, in his tournament as well.
Yep.
One of the guys that's kind of sparking this offense at the top of the lineup. Last night, I believe he had 2 hits in the starting in the number 1 role in the leadoff spot for the Edward Waters Tigers as well.
And he drives that ball into right center. Diving attempt there by Jalen Young. It gets by him, backed up by the center fielder, and Washington gets on with a leadoff double. And that was a good effort there by Young. Just came up a bit short. I'm not mad that he tried it. Thoughts?
Well, I'm not mad that he tried it either, because the center fielder out there, which is Rohandri Javier, he was there to back up Jalen's diving attempt. So great job by Jalen to go for the out right there. I'm not mad at him as well, but even better job right there by Keelan Washington. Got his hit, got his spot that he liked it in, drove it out to the right center field gap. Even better job of ended up on 2, taking the extra base on a hit that could have been easily a single for him.
So now Dalton Pass comes up to bat, the sophomore from Hinesville, Florida. He comes up with Washington out on second base.
Last night, head coach Reggie Johnson went to the small ball. Let's see if he goes right here anywhere type of way. He played a couple of bunts. He had a couple of sack bunts last night, moved some runners over, play a little bingo, get this offense, get this defense, get this offense rolling. But maybe we'll put a little pressure here on the defense early on. We've got 9 full innings, and I know Johnson, as the visiting team, would like to take a lead going into the bottom half.
Juan Ruel Hernandez, the starting pitcher for today's game for Florida Memorial. Rafael Ferrara is the catcher. Ulysses Rodriguez on third. Alex Gomez on short. Luis Ruiz, second base. Fernando Vila is first baseman out in the outfield. Junior Sanchez is in left. We already talked about Rohandri Javier in center and Jalen Young in right.
This Florida Memorial team has had a pretty good year. They play in the Sun Conference, Brian, which is like the SEC of NAIA baseball, may I add. You got the top-ranked team of the nation in there, Southeastern. They're playing St. Thomas, Kaiser, all top 25 ranked teams, Weber International. So this team has been through the year. They've been through a really tough grind, and, that's going to prepare them for a tournament like this.
Nice one-hop play by Ruiz as that ball was hit right back up the middle. He played that perfectly off the hop, throws it over to Vila, and there's the first out, but the runner Washington advances over to third.
Yeah, good job there by Dalton Pass. Got the ball over to the right-hand side, which is where you want to put the ball if you're going to put it in play. It gives your opportunity to the runner to advance to third base with a long throw from the right side of the baseball field. So good job there by Pass, getting the ball down and, getting it to the right side of the infield.
Infield playing in here.
Well, they're going to try to stop the run coming in at home plate. Coach Tino doesn't want to go into the bottom of the inning losing or trailing one run or maybe more, but they're going to try to stop this run at the plate, which isn't a bad idea. It's early on. You got 9 innings. Why not? Give it a shot.
Aquarius Tompkins, the left fielder, is at the plate. Sophomore from Madison, Florida. Went to Madison County High School.
Tompkins is going to look for something up right here. He definitely wants to put the ball somewhere in the outfield, lift it really high to score Washington over at first base. Let's see if he bites on a fastball on the outside. He's coming inside now.
The 1-1 pitch. Looks like he got away from him there.
And as you see, one thing I like right there for all you youngins out there, little leaguers watching today's contest, is you see the second baseman, Luis Ruiz, backing up every throw to the pitcher. In case that ball gets past the pitcher, you definitely don't want that runner at third to score.
The 2-1 pitch. Sharply hit past the third baseman. That's going to bring a run in. As Tompkins gets a single down the left field line. And Edward Waters out to a 1-0 lead.
A good piece of hitting there by Tompkins. Saw the pitch that he wanted, drove it right down the third base line, was able to get it past the third baseman for the Lions. That's over there, that's Ulysses Rodriguez. Couldn't make the diving attempt, but the first RBI on the day for the Edward Waters Tigers goes to Tompkins. Great job there, buddy.
Shortstop Peyton Schubert steps in the box now. Only one out here in game number 2.
What I like about this situation is the runner at first, you still have one out. You still have a chance to do anything you need to. You have one out to play with. You see there's a hole between the first and the second baseman as the first baseman holds the runner on. Second baseman is kind of playing up the middle. So if he wants, Peyton Schubert has that right side gap between the first and the second baseman to maybe shoot a line drive or a ground ball that way. That could possibly get Tompkins over to third base. Let's see if he goes with a hit and run anywhere right here.
The 0-1 pitch. That ball is going to be lifted towards left field. And settling under that is Junior Sanchez for second out of the inning.
Schubert just wasn't able to get around right there. Hernandez went to the outside pitch, threw his hands, made his bat run a little slow there. And Schubert, bat had to lift it a little bit and, just didn't get the lift that he wanted or the drive that he wanted. But watch out for Schubert the rest of the day. Pretty good athlete. Has been good all year for the Tigers, and he was even good last year for the Tigers in this tournament.
DH, Leonel Garcia now batting. He chases that pitch high, strike one.
I don't mind that swing right there. Garcia's a hitter. He's the DH. He's in there, and his job is to hit the ball. Swing at what you can swing at. Be aggressive. Get some runs in. And sometimes you got to remember, I know it's a runner at first. He's not in scoring position. But if you can score a runner from first, then the scouts are also going to be looking at you, Brian.
A pitch by Hernandez. Fouled off right towards the first baseman.
And as you see, he's swinging again. 2 pitches, and he's already swung twice. He's the DH. Coach believes that he's the guy that needs to focus on hitting. And being in that 5th slot, that's the RBI slot. Some coaches like their RBI slots to be maybe 5th, sometimes 4th, but definitely, 5th and 6th is not a bad RBI slot to get runners in.
The 0-2 pitch. Called strike, punches him out, caught him looking, and so Florida Memorial gets out of the inning. So 1 run on 2 hits, 1 runner left on base, no errors. We head to the bottom half of the first. You're watching the Tyson Foods Black College World Series on the Black College Sports Network.
5-star backyards, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
This is Ryan Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
It's like a loop machine. All around town, people trying to get down.
Florida Memorial will have their chance to even this ball game up here in the bottom half of the first inning. On the mound for Edward Waters is Anthony Bryant. Bryant, a freshman from Tampa, Florida. For Bryant,
Going to pitcher.
13 appearances, started 5 games, a 1-2 record. Pitched in 27.7 innings. So an opportunity for the young freshman to get going here. Leading off for Florida Memorial, their center fielder Rohandri Javier, and this young man, one of the top leadoff hitters that we've seen in this tournament, especially after day one. He fouls the pitch off, and count moves to 1-2 for Javier. Batting behind him, Ulysses Rodriguez and Jalen Young. And should one of those guys get on, Axel Gomez will hit in the cleanup spot.
And Axel Gomez is a guy you may not want to see in the first inning. He's pretty hot going into today's game. Got the home run yesterday. Got things started for the Edward Waters offense over there.
The 1-2 pitch way outside. Ball 2.
Looks as though Bryant is having some control issues early on. It looks as though maybe that ball is a little sticky. He just kind of, released it a little on the outside. Didn't use enough pronation on it, I'm assuming.
The 1-2 pitch. That ball's just into shallow left field, and settling in under that is Tompkins. So one away. Tompkins out in left, Dalton Pass in center, Keelan Washington in right. That's the outfield for the Tigers. On third base is Adrian LaRoe, Peyton Schubert, shortstop, John Nobles in second, Isaiah Montez. First base behind the plate is Anthony Roman. Ulysses Rodriguez stepping into the box now for Florida Memorial. Florida, Edward Waters played a contest last night, last game of the day against Rust. And I have to tell you, and hopefully it came through in the broadcast, but if you were here live to witness it, it was probably the most energetic, talkative NAIA baseball game that I think I've seen in recent memory. There's a high pop-up infield. This one's, let's see if the catcher can stay under it. He does, and good job by Anthony Roman. We saw those high pop-ups on the infield give batters or give fielders trouble all day yesterday afternoon. as our weather conditions, Nick, have kind of opened up to what we had yesterday, where it was clear skies, no clouds like the teams had in Game 1, and just a bright sun.
Yeah, and that sun is going to do damage here on these guys, especially at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But that was a good job by Roman to shade the sun. And also for all you young catchers out there, he did one thing that you have to remember when you're a catcher. You have to turn yourself around, and that's not easy to do. When you get up and you go for that fly ball, you have to turn your back to the infield so that you can act as a defender and make sure you get the angle on the ball coming down.
So the ball gets by the first baseman in the right field, and that's going to put Jalen Young on the base pad. That's going to go down as an E3 as Isaiah Montez had that, and it just kind of went Bill Buckner on him.
Oh, wow. So we mentioned it last night, and you actually mentioned the guy's name, Bill Buckner. You've been watching some YouTube, some baseball videos, buddy.
No. I watched it live. As a Mets fan, I cried. I never jumped so high in the house on one evening.
Did you say a Mets fan?
I used to be a Mets fan back in the 80s, mid to late 80s.
47, WTBS. No, excuse me, not WTBS. That's great. WWOR.
I didn't get a chance to watch them on that, but, they played
there were 3 teams that had
runners going to second, and he is clearly in there safely. So first pitch running is Young.
Well, if you remember, there were 3 teams that had national games on TV: the Cubs, the Mets, and the Braves.
See, I don't remember the Mets being on. Yeah, see, in the Midwest where I grew up, we had the Superstation. We had did you?
Yeah, Chicago.
That's right.
I know you guys forget about us often.
I
totally understand.
Everyone in Indy is trying to be someone from Chicago. What are you talking about? No, but I don't recall the Mets on a
WWOR. I want to say WWOR. Okay. Yeah.
Well, see, you guys were a little more advanced. You guys were a top 3, top 5 media market. Indianapolis was like 25th probably at that point in time. So big difference there. Ball driven towards center field by Gomez, and settling in under that is pass, and Edward Waters gets out of the inning. So no runs, no hits, 1 runner left on base, 1 error at the end of 1. Edward Waters has a 1-0 lead. You're watching the Tyson Foods Black College World Series on the Black College Sports Network.
For 200 years, Montgomery, Alabama has been making history by people who had the courage to stand up for change. Today, this riverfront city has been reborn, embracing the past and looking forward to the future. From the National Memorial for Peace and Justice to the stage of the Alabama Shakespeare Festival. This is where history was and
probably didn't come off the bat the way he wanted it to, but a nice pickup there, a nice clean scoop by Luis Ruiz, who had to get on his horse to get there for it. Got it over to Fernando Vila in time, and so 1 out here. And right back to Ruiz, unable to cleanly handle that, and running that one out was Anthony Roman. And so Ruiz, now it's interesting because I would guesstimate, the tougher of the 2 plays Ruiz makes, probably you might perceive the second play to be a little easier, and that one he kind of bobbles a little bit. So
yeah, and I got to credit that to Roman, running that out. Montez actually didn't run that first one out, but Roman did, so he was able to get on base, and we'll see the courtesy runner come in, as we talked about earlier. NAIA rules, you can't have a courtesy runner for your catcher and your pitcher. So tonight or this afternoon, the Edward Waters coach, Reginald Johnson, he'll use a courtesy runner for his catcher.
Caden Hutchinson is that courtesy runner now on first base. And standing in there, number 16, Adrian LaRoe. LaRoe, the third baseman. Got a special guest joining us in the box right now, the director of athletics at Edward Waters University, Mr. Paul Bryant. As we get him in here to join us. How you doing, sir?
Is this Mr. Bryant? Is this the famous one you've been talking about, man? Is this the guy?
Nothing but glowing praise. How you doing, sir? Good to see you again.
Good to see you as well. Doing well. Excited to be here. Excited to be here.
There's a ball that's hit towards right field, And Jalen Young settles in under that. So good to have Edward Waters here. And, man, I tell you, you have stayed busy over the past year. You know, when you took over the position, Edward Waters hadn't made all the great announcements that what has it been like for you? Not just this year, but I gotta, since I've known you over the last couple of years, what's it been like in this journey? And you're almost to that point where you're there, where everyone expects Edward Waters to be.
Yeah, it's been a great journey. You know what? Having a president that is supportive, that's where it starts. First, you know, you have the board, and then you have the president.
Preach.
And I having him support everything we do. As long as there's a significant plan, a very strategic plan, he is going to go for it. And so we have been blessed to do some things that typically we wouldn't have done. So, but it's been a great ride for us. Very great ride.
We're gonna stay here as we get out of that inning. One runner left on base. Edward Waters still has a 1-0 lead as we're going to be heading to the bottom of the second inning here with Director of Athletics for Edward Waters, Paul Bryant. I'm not sure, is it Dr. Paul Bryant? I want to make sure I got it said. Because I don't want to leave titles out, and I'm sitting here in my head. It is?
It is.
Dr. Bryant. Okay. I want to make sure.
But, you know, I'm not.
I've known Edward Waters back when it was college, so I have to get used to Edward Waters University.
That's right,
EWU.
right.
I just want to make sure I get all my titles and everything correct. Sir.
That's right.
Dr. Bryant, with that being said, you know, you guys are here representing the, you know, the World Series, and 2 years in a row, may I add, you know, Coach Johnson has done a heck of a job with this program. Just talk about how important, you know, it is for Edward Waters to be here in the midst of baseball.
Yeah, this is a outstanding opportunity for us to be here. As you stated, Coach Reggie Johnson has done a phenomenal job, and I think it's important that we are spotlighted the way we are. I'm talking about HBCU baseball, and having this World Series is just one feat that we thought that should happen, and we're just excited that you guys have asked us to come a couple years in a row. We want this to be a continue. We want to be good enough to be here continuously, and this World Series is first class. It is truly first class.
In terms of baseball, as you all know, NAI is last year there.
Yes.
You're moving on to NCAA Division II. Just talk about that transition process. Had a chance to catch up with Coach Johnson last night. He just mentioned how fortunate he was to work for you guys and the administration being supportive. You know, how supportive are you all, and how far can this go once you all get to that transition level?
Yeah, the transition has been phenomenal. Again, we've done everything that we're supposed to do. We're going into provisional year 2, and now we will be in the SIAC full time next year.
Playoff member, are you?
Yes, we are a playoff member next year. So we're the transition has been good, and so the support for our athletic teams, not only baseball, but our athletics teams have been there. And like I stated earlier, it was the vision of the president to go this route, and this is the right fit for Edward Waters University. And so we're going to do whatever is necessary for us to be successful in the SIAC and in NCAA Division II.
Good play by Anthony Bryant, who received that. Had to do a good job. Isaiah Montez gave him some credit too, the first baseman, because they had to do a little toe touching and a little coordination there. Great job by Montez and Bryant.
We call that PFP in the baseball realm, players field in practice. That's the way we practice.
Yes.
You know, both pitchers make sure they get over there to first base once that bag is uncovered. Great job there by Bryant.
3-1 if you're scoring at home. And now coming to the plate for Florida Memorial, Luis Ruiz coming to the plate with one out.
Dr. Bryant, you know, in terms of the Edward Waters program, last year the NAIA, you know, and you want to give respect to what they did do. They were able to get to the conference tournament last week, the CAC.
Yes.
You know, just talk about that a little bit, and Coach Johnson put together a team this year.
Yeah, you know, one of the things that we began to preach at the beginning of the year, we knew this was going to be our last year in NAIA. We wanted to be the best at every sport.
Absolutely.
As we exit the NAIA, my women's volleyball program did that. They end up winning the championship, and then my other teams, they have done so well. This is the first time when I took over. We had 2 winning programs: women's volleyball and women's basketball, and everyone else they had a losing program. Now, fast forward, every program is a winning program except 2. And that you have to give a caveat to that because this was our inaugural year for soccer, women's soccer. So, and they were 6 and 7, and then our football program where we changed coach in May. And so I gave 2 caveats there, but I think going into the NCAA Division II, you're going to see I think all of our sports doing well because, again, the experience, the support from the president all the way from the executive cabinet, the faculty, staff, everyone supports what we're doing, and we're excited to have that.
And you've made the investment in the improvement of facilities as well. I mean, we've seen the new football field. We've seen the improvements in the gymnasium.
Where were the new baseball?
Yeah, am I missing anything new?
Where was the baseball field?
Well, I tell you, there's going to be a surprise here soon, where we have on-campus facilities for everything except 3 sports, and that's baseball, softball, and track. And we're talking about getting that. It's funny. I think that I'm a visionary and wants to get things done for athletics. When you get a call from the president and say, "Hey, I want to make sure that we get a field and get track. You need to go find me some land and make it happen."
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're doing. Again, you know what? They have no idea how important it is to have that support.
Oh, we have it. I have an idea. I'm gonna be quiet, but I'm just gonna say I have an idea.
Right.
Yeah, there are a lot of universities who are doing less and supposedly have more.
Yeah.
So
I'm
just gonna put it like that. So
you're exactly right.
I need you all to get on a statewide tour and let people educate some people.
And and the president talks about that. He says, I don't see how you're losing and how you would lose so much money in athletics when we have a model that we have created that is actually making money.
Right.
And that is an anomaly at our level, but we're doing it, and I think we're doing it well because we've done well.
There are a lot of young kids out here watching, a lot of high school kids, even maybe we'll just talk some junior college possible transfers. Just let them know and the families know, why Edward Waters may be a good choice, obviously for baseball, but obviously for actually academics as well.
Yeah, you know what? We've changed our designation, our level. We went from a college to a university. We have some of the top professors in the country. I believe the stat was a little over 70 or 80% of our staff have terminal degrees. And then you put a quality education. Then we look at our athletics. We're putting winning programs in. Why not Edward Waters University? We're doing it, and we're doing it the right way, and we begin to do it well. But again, it sounds like a broken record, but it's the support.
But you're in a great area too.
Oh, you're Jacksonville, Florida.
Jacksonville is.
There is a beach in Jacksonville.
15 minutes from the school.
And I was looking at the numbers. The population, the rest, and there've always been access to tremendous student athletes in Jacksonville. I mean, it's a hot hub for a lot of schools in the state of Florida, outside of what's in South Florida. But Jacksonville is usually that number 2 place that people go to recruit. And now you got a program that's going into the SIC, a quality level Division II program.
Yes.
There's great rivalries and histories that are sort of reemerging because it's always been there, but it's been dormant for a little bit. And so now it's starting to reemerge, and a lot of the old school alums are excited about things, and so it's a lot of opportunities here.
It is Jacksonville, Florida. Again, I can't talk about what happened in the past, but I can tell you, moving in the future, this is what we want. We want to be the school of choice. Typically, you're the 3rd choice, 4th choice. Now we're NCAA Division II. We're a university.
No excuses.
No, yeah. Why go anywhere else when you can have it all right there in Jacksonville, Florida, at Edward Waters University?
Any plugs or anything you want to mention? Anything that we forgot to ask you while we got you before we?
I tell you what, be looking out for our new wellness center. Our wellness center where we're having a nutrition stand and our partnership with Sodexo Magic that we just announced not too long ago. That is going to be a game changer for what we do. And I tell you, one of our facilities are going to be the best. I'm going to brag, best in Division II in the country, because we're putting the investment there and we're making it the best. So go Tigers!
I tell you, you guys are doing it big over there. I love everything I've seen. So again, thanks for your time, Dr. Paul Bryant, Director of Athletics over at Edward Waters University.
Yes, sir.
No longer a sleeping giant in the state of Florida. They are here and they are loud. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Score still remains 1-0. Edward Waters with that lead. And we head into the top half of the third inning, excuse me.
Good guy there.
Oh, again, I can't emphasize, when we first, came into Edward Waters, you could see there was something brewing here, and to see what he said, though, I cannot underscore what he just said about when your president is engaged and sees the benefits and wants to see things done from an athletic perspective, it does not get any better. And he's got a great job, because he's doing what all athletic directors wish they had a president. All coaches wish they had a president like what they have at Edward Waters. I'm not going to name any schools, but I'm just saying, trust me, I know. And there's a fan base that wishes, there are many fan bases that wishes they had a president doing it as well as they're doing it over at Edward Waters. So
I don't mind you naming, by the way.
I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
I'm not going to do it.
I think Jeremiah may want to name it.
I know. I'm sure Jeremiah knows. He watches our shows. Wildmeyer Marcelin knows. He watches our shows. Those guys know. Let's see who's in the box here for Edward Waters. Keelan Washington. Back to the top of the order here for the Tigers.
Scored in his last AB.
Mm-hmm. And there he drives the ball towards right field, but it's going to settle right into the glove of Jalen Young. One thing I noticed, Nick, about, we're talking about that win factor. It's kind of interesting. You see the flags in left field doing something a little bit different than the flags over in right. It's just interesting to see. I don't know if a ball can carry or will still carry if it heads left like it did in the last game. We had 2 home runs in the last game.
Well, I was watching the map, or I was looking at the map, rather, and I just saw that, Montgomery is like on 3 elevation levels, so maybe this field is higher on one side than the other side.
Whoa, you're looking at elevation maps? Nick, get out of here. Stop it.
Maybe one side is kind of higher than the other, or maybe one flag is higher than the other. I don't know.
There's a ball that's hit towards right field. Young comes in. I thought that might drop, but that time he was able to come up on it on that hit by Dalton Pass.
Yeah, two plays in a row there by Jalen Young. Good right fielder, by the way. He can also play a little center, man. He can really move out there in the outfield, and not a bad stick as well, batting the 3-hole. Jalen Young is one of those guys that can kind of, do it all for you in the outfield, and just a good player, just a, player that you kind of want on your field. He can make plays, and, somebody who keeps the balls in front of him. Like you say, even on that first play where he dove, and wasn't able to get Keelan Washington out, it wasn't a bad attempt just to start the game. Why not go for it when you got a center fielder in Rohanji Javier who can back you up as well?
Dequarius Tompkins, the left fielder, now up on the FMU pitcher, Juan Ruel Hernandez. The 2-0 pitch. He takes that. It's ball 3 now. Three balls and no strikes. 2 outs here for Hernandez. That one looked like, it is a strike.
Umpire did call it. Yep.
As Tompkins takes that pitch.
I like to see the catcher, though, Roman, just, frame it. Excuse me, not Roman. I like to see Ferreira just frame it a little bit more just to give it that factor.
Hit towards the shortstop. An easy throw over to first base. And Florida Memorial is out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on the base pads. We head down to the bottom of third. You're watching the Tyson Foods Black College World Series on the Black College Sports Network.
We're all about feeding your family with meat and plant-based protein that's good for the planet, good for you, and just plain good. That's all the protein you need, all on your plate.
For 5-star backyards, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
Meet Jessica Moore. Jessica was born to care. She always had your back. Like the time she spotted the neighbor kid, an approaching car, a puddle, and knew there was going to be a situation.
That's my best friend. She don't need no lift, drive her own car.
Miss Hogan's class? Yeah, it's Atlantis. Nice. I don't think they had camels in Atlantis.
Really? Today, she's a teammate at Truist, the bank that starts with care. When you start with care, you get a different kind of bank.
Two dark-skinned black guys.
Nathan Harris, the DH, leading off the bottom of the third inning for Florida Memorial, facing Anthony Bryant. Florida Memorial with only one hit so far.
I know we're not having the home run derby this year, Brian, but you remember Harris was a part of that, big deal last year that we got a chance to call. Remember that?
I do remember, vaguely remember. It was Harris and a young man from Bluefield State, right?
Yeah, and Xavier. But, yeah, Bluefield State as well.
I know we got some people over there where that ball came, but nobody seemed to catch it. Or everybody just ducked and got out of the way.
Yeah, no, everybody's not me and you.
Hey, we got close. We had a one window over from our location. Harris takes ball 2. See if our live stat tracker updates here shortly. 2 balls and 2 strikes for Bryant. To the plate, outside, ball 3. And what's interesting, Nick, is, as we talk about what we see from NAIA schools and Division II schools, and Harris draws a walk, I'm fascinated, and I've had the opportunity to help guide a young man towards an NAIA school, and only through my interactions of being involved and seeing NAIA programs in Division II. He didn't know much about the school. Obviously, he knew it wasn't Division I. Wasn't really sure about the program or the league. And I had to tell him, I said, look, they play in the Sun Conference. They're in the NAIA. It is one of the top programs in the country. I mean, really, the NAIA ball is, there's some good ball, whether it be baseball, basketball, or even football, some good ball out there. Runners going. And Javier attempting to lay down a bunt there. But I think if you ever hear somebody say something negative towards NAIA or Division II, whether it be baseball or any other sport, that tells you somebody who has not seen teams play, or you haven't seen good teams play on a consistent basis, or even on a semi-consistent basis, because they show their for lack of a better word, they show their ignorance
yes.
in what they're talking about. There are bad Division I programs and teams. That said, there are good NAIA and Division II programs. And so some that have better facilities better system, better leadership, better coaching that what you may get at a quote-unquote Power 5 or Division I program. So I'm glad we have an opportunity to spotlight and highlight and talk about programs like Edward Waters and others, Florida Memorial, and see what they're doing. There's a ball that's hit towards right field. Nice job by Javier once again.
Well, I think one of the main things we have to remember, Brian, is there's a lot of coaches out there and fans and, just like you say, ignorant folk who stereotype kids by division level. He's a D1 kid. LeBron is a D1 kid, and Nick is a NAIA kid, and Brian is a D2 kid. I think we need to stop that, first of all. I think that's the main problem right there. I believe, yes, there are good D1 teams, there are good NAIA teams, there are bad NAIA teams and bad D1 teams. But a kid can only be evaluated to play on that team by the coach itself.
There's a wild pitch that gets way over the head of Ulysses Rodriguez, so the runners advance over to second and third.
And I think that's what Deion Sanders was saying a little bit in one of his latest rants. There are programs out there for kids, but kids are turning them down. Or there are programs out there that may be good fit for kids, but they're turning them down because coaches have told these kids, hey, you're a D1 kid, you're a D2 kid. That dilutes everything. There's no such thing as a D1 kid, as a D2 kid, as an NAIA kid, as a JUCO kid. If that was the case, then that means that every D1 kid every D1 team would be the D2 team, and every D2 team would be the D3 team, and every D3 team would be the NAIA team. And that's not the case.
No, we know that doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's not the case. So, I would just appreciate, for all you baseball fans out there, just your sports fans, if you guys can stop stereotyping kids, as he balks right there, just stop stereotyping kids, and these kids are making, and we just talked about it, the transfer portal is a big deal because these kids have been coerced into choosing a D1 school, a D2 school, and it's not a good fit for them. Over 2,000 kids in the college baseball transfer portal, or the transfer portal just in general right now, and the season isn't over yet. We need to stop stereotyping these kids by division.
So the balk brings home Harris, ties up the score, and now the speedy Javier is on third. Rodriguez still sticking with the bunt opportunities here, although there's 2 strikes right now. We'll see if he sticks with it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Slap towards third base and unable to cleanly get there. They're going to say that's fair. They say that's fair as LaRoe got his glove on it but was unable to stick with it. And Javier, who was on his horse, ends up coming home. Infield single or possibly E5. Possibly. Maybe.
I'm going to go with an infield hit. I'm not going to expect him to make the play.
Because of the hop.
Everything that went along with it. And he attempted to try to go to home. So even if you give him a fielder's choice or somewhere along like that, I'll give him that. But I'm going to give him an infield hit there. But, if they want to give it an error, they're more than welcome. I'm not right or wrong. Or at least I don't really know what the call would be.
And Rodriguez was running, and you saw Young trying to protect his teammate there by just putting the bat out there, fouls it off. Rodriguez definitely some speed at the top of this Florida Memorial lineup with Javier and now Rodriguez on first. Jalen Young at the plate.
No outs to the runner at first, and the Lions have a chance to open up this offensive playbook right here, especially with Jalen Young up, who can lay down a bunt, who can drive the ball. He's a gap-to-gap type guy. I'd like to see if he likes to go the other way with it or hit that hole between first and second base. As you see, the first baseman Montez holding the runner on. Second baseman is not really playing Jalen Young to pull. He's more so double play, quote-unquote, double play depth. I still like to see the second baseman over a little bit more. Just like
Perfectly
that.
timed right down the first base line, going deep into the right field corner. That's going to bring Rodriguez all the way home. Should be an easy triple for Young, sliding in just for the extra effort and work.
And that was a good piece of hitting right there by Jalen Young. I talked about him trying to pull the ball on the right side. He got it down all the way to the right field corner, which is an automatic 3 for a guy with speed with Jalen Young. He was able to score the run and give his guys a 2-run lead there. Good job by Jalen Young, who's also in one of the minority prospect HBCU All-Star games.
Florida Memorial opens it up to a 3-1 lead. A lot of activity now as a couple of pitchers and catchers are heading down to the Edward Waters bullpen. So our score right now is 3-1.
If I'm the pitching coach from Edward Waters right now, I'm just kind of, getting some time for my guy to get down there and get loose a little bit, just kind of understanding that, I'm going to talk with Bryant a little bit. Hey, we can't have that. We got a runner on third. Let him know the situation. Keep the ball away, keep the ball in, however they're going to pitch him. But also I think the main thing right now is to give his guys a little bit more time in warming up down there in the bullpen. And as you see, the infield corners are in, trying to protect the runner. They're trying to block the runner from third at getting in. I think they'll go for the runner there, and they'll play back up the middle.
Axel Gomez at the plate, and that one got in on him and took a swing at it.
Yeah, and that's not, Axel Gomez, he really didn't want to swing, but he did think about it. Not a bad pitch to try to swing at if he wanted to. Again, he wants to try to get the ball somewhere into the outfield. Just an RBI right now would do for the Lions. Now you see the infield will come in on the infield. They'll try to stop the runner at third from coming home. And there's another ball on the field. We had about 7 of those last night in the Rust and Edward Waters game where the ball came from the bullpen and stopped play.
Flags and left are blowing in right now, and that pitch is high by Bryant. Sense a little frustration here by the young man. The 1-2 pitch pulled towards left. There's going to be a tag situation. Play at the plate. It's coming home, but it's up the first base line. That runner easily walks in. Jalen Young scores. And the sacrifice fly makes it 4-1 for Florida Memorial. Just one out here in the third inning, bottom of the third inning.
And just what I was talking about there, great piece of hitting by Gomez to try to find something that was up, to try to put the ball somewhere in the outfield right there. The Lions have already scored 3. Why not just go with the 4 and be okay with that? And they still have 2 outs left to play with. Good job there by Gomez.
That ball hit towards left center, left fielder, settles under it. That's Dequarius Tompkins and Junior Sanchez. First pitch out. So now 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Luis Ruiz, the second baseman. Foul ball. Notice our group of students from Valley Grande Elementary. They're probably all headed off to lunch or headed back to school because there weren't 100 kids chasing after that foul ball.
Still a tight game. You know, there's been a lot of runs scored here at the World Series this year. We've had, you know, a 5 spot put up twice today by Albany State in a losing effort. You know, so runs aren't really the issue here at the World Series this year, Brian.
It's a ball that slapped towards the shortstop. Quickly tossed over to first base. Nice job by Peyton Schubert to get that over to Montez. And nice inning there by Florida Memorial. They scored 4 runs on 3 hits. No runners left on base, no errors. And we head to the top of the 4th inning. Our score 4-1. You're watching the Tyson Foods Black College World Series on the Black College Sports Network.
At Tyson, we know taste is local. Some like their beef pit smoked, their chicken spiced all the way up, or their pork sweet and saucy. Local flavors, global impact. That's what feeding the world is all about.
We're opening the door to better financial services, better experiences, better partnerships, better technology, better communities, and a better future.
For 5-star backyards, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
Peyton Schubert leading off the inning here for Edward Waters, trying to cut into this 3-run deficit.
Yeah, Peyton Schubert flew it out to left field last time, the runner in scoring position. He's going to have to do something to, you know, kind of get on base here if it's take on 3-0, and I'm perfectly fine with that. And even if he didn't get a ball walk, he's going to have to make sure he gets on base here. Peyton Schubert has to, you know, one of the leading hitters on the baseball club. He's going to have to make sure that he's, you know, start the spark plug right here being down 3. And that's not going to get it done.
Right at the shortstop, Axel Gomez, excuse me, and 1 away.
I would have liked to see him be a little bit more patient there and work the count, try to get it down to 2 strikes. It's kind of hard to throw 3 strikes in a row when you got a 3-0 count. Being that Bryant, you know, is in the top half of the 4th right now, he's thrown somewhere around 40 to 45 pitches. You know, I'm not saying he's tired, but, you know, his accuracy could be lost just a tad bit.
That one jammed him inside. Brian Fulford and Nick Strong here. Nick Strong, head coach at Florida National University down in South Florida.
Texas Southern University
but also a Texas Southern University standout. I forgot to mention that first, yes.
I played the HBCU game, you know, and, you know, I've seen these. I've been in these guys' position. You know, I was able to play some postseason down at Texas Southern 2 years in a row, you know, conference tournament, NCAA regional. And, I mean, it's nothing like postseason, you know, and my plight is different than other young men right here, Brian. You know, I chose Texas Southern, you know, not because of the D1 name. We talked about stereotyping. You couldn't stereotype because I played D3 my first year. You know, so am I a D3 guy or am I a D1 guy? And I played JUCO in between. So, you know, that's just why I don't stereotype kids.
Garcia lines out to Ruiz over at second, and now 2 outs for Florida Memorial.
You know, when the playoff brings out the best in you as a player, you know, if this doesn't hype you up or, you know, get you excited, you know, there's nothing that a coach can do at this point. You know, it's the last 5 games of the season. You know, there's nothing that a coach can do or can say and, you know, to get you amped up, to get the blood rolling, to get the, you know, juice flowing in your blood, in your veins.
Foul ball. Isaiah Montez, the first baseman, at the plate for Edward Waters. Edward Waters still active, one of the more active benches, not bullpens, but benches, dugouts.
I like to see those chairs moved from the bullpen down there in right field. Actually, I wish that. I know there's a bullpen catcher down there, but I wish those chairs can kind of get put to the side. You don't want Jalen Young to kind of run over those chairs if there's a fly ball in right field.
Well, hopefully the responsibility falls on that catcher.
Yes, in the bullpen.
If a ball is going that way, to move those chairs out of the way.
And Jalen runs pretty fast. You know he's not going to stop anytime soon.
The 2-1 pitch by Hernandez to the plate, low and away.
Hello to everybody listening and watching out there in internet land. Type in the chat who you're supporting, what school you're supporting right now. We'd like to give a shout out to all of you all.
The 3-1 pitch fouled way above our head. And
is there anybody out there supporting Bryant today? Is there anybody out there supporting Bryant? Are you listening or watching this broadcast because of Bryant Fulford? Put that in the chat if you are. I know he's going to have about maybe 5 or 6 people, or maybe 500 or 600 people, typing in the chat. But please do that for me.
It's not about me. It's these kids. That's what I'm supposed to say. There's a ball. There's a dribbler towards the short. And unable to scoop that up cleanly was Vila. And running hard to get the first was Montez. And so Edward Waters stays alive.
Wow, Brian, you broke the internet. There's about 15. Look at all these chats coming. Look at all these.
Stop it.
My goodness, man. He's got all these supporters. You can't even type anymore because everybody else has already overloaded the chat room.
That's the spam I've been dealing with all day. That's what that is. Anthony Roman, first pitch, right to the shortstop, and Axel Gomez sends it over to second for the first. 1 runner left on base. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. And we head over to the bottom half of the fourth. You're watching the Tyson Foods Black College World Series on the Black College Sports Network.
For 5-star backyards, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
This is Ryan Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
Back to live action here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Coming up to bat for Florida Memorial. Number 16, Fernando Vila, first baseman. Strive for More podcast says Nick Strong is the best. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Shout out to Karen Griffin, still watching us. HBCU baseball from SoCal. And there's a ball that's hit right towards first baseman Isaiah Montez. Steps on the bag and 1 away.
I like that, strive for more. Striving for more. How you like that?
Jorge Burgess, 305, baby. Let's go FMU.
Oh, I think I know who he's related to.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I think I know.
Oh, might be.
Yeah, he may be related to the catcher or something. Southern California represented. I think she corrected me yesterday on that baseball game being played inside the Rose Bowl. It was actually played in the Coliseum. Thank you for that.
Kayla Morales checking in. Now, I know a lot of old school alums still call Florida Memorial FLOMO.
Yeah, FLOMO.
But I know personally that the university is trying to move away from that.
Wow. Nice, beautiful campus actually for the Memorial.
Oh, very beautiful.
Yeah, they got
very
a lake
beautiful.
in the middle.
Yes, they do.
When you have a lake in the middle, you little you get a little bit more, you get a little bit more flossier than the next campus. Everybody can't have a lake in the middle.
No, you
pond.
can't.
You may have a pond, but you don't have a whole lake, right?
Rafael Ferrara, the catcher, at bat.
Haven't had a chance to meet Mr. Brogos that was on the chat. I got a chance to chat with the Florida Memorial coach, and he told me a lot about his younger days growing up playing baseball, and his college that he went to, and there's a lot of baseball down in 305. A lot of families playing baseball. A lot of international families playing baseball. Everybody gets together. I'm still trying to find a Sunday league, Brian, that I can go play men's league.
You're still looking for a Sunday. You're still looking for that.
Still trying to play a little men's league down there. Maybe Jorge can help me out, man. Maybe he can invite me to one of the Sunday league games.
There's a ball that's lifted towards center, but that's an easy catch there for Dalton Pass. Came off the bat, looked like it had some juice to it, but kind of dies out there.
Yeah, he flied out to the center fielder last time, 2 F8s in a row for him. So he's putting some barrels on the ball. He just got to, one thing I try to teach the hitters is when you're hitting, try to put those hips into it. I think that when you just kind of swing and, you're off balance, you hit to the gap, you hit to the straight spots, left, center, right. But when you put a twist in it and you move those hips, you can kind of place the ball down that line and in those gaps.
Nathan Harris in the batter's box now for FMU.
Yeah, I've seen Nathan Harris here for a long time, man. And, he just has that pretty swing. I think from the Orlando area, from your neck of the woods.
Anthony Bryant still pitching for EWU. Harris, big cut, foul ball.
Harris just doesn't want to do too much here, but a 2-0 swing there. I take that 2-0. Your hitters count. You may get your fastball. You just kind of missed it, Didn't put it where he wanted to, but that wasn't a bad swing here.
2 balls and 1 strikes by Bryant. There's a ball that's hit towards second base. Good job there by John Nobles. So 3 up and 3 down, no runs, no hits, none left on base. And we head to the top of 5. 4-1 lead for Florida Memorial. You're watching the Tyson Foods Black College World Series on the Black College Sports Network.
It's like a loop machine. All around town, people trying to get down.
For 200 years, Montgomery, Alabama has been making history by people who had the courage to stand up for change. Today, this riverfront city has been reborn, embracing the past and looking forward to the future. From the National Memorial for Peace and Justice to the stage of the Alabama Shakespeare Festival. This is where history was and is made. We are proud to call Montgomery home, and together, we can be the change.
Mobile banking from Truist actually works for you. It gives you simple, smart, personalized insights to keep you one step ahead. Because we think that's the kind of control you deserve over your money. When you start with care, you get a different kind of bank. Truist. Download the mobile app now.
machine. All around town, people trying to get down.
Top of the fifth inning here. Edward Waters at the plate. Adrian LaRoe, third baseman, in the box here. Pitching for Florida Memorial, Juan Raul. Hope I'm saying that right. Hernandez. Juan Raul Hernandez. Just got to slow down and say it. There's a lot going on there. Big cut strikeout for Hernandez, so a nice start to the inning as LaRoe goes down.
One of the best producers in history right there, Miss Mel.
Doing a good job, always.
Like our camera views, want to thank all our cameramen out there, our camera people working the event today, all the auxiliaries. And, you know, it takes more than Brian Fulford to put this broadcast together for everybody out there watching. I just want you to know that. It takes a lot more than just Brian Fulford.
John Noble's at the plate for Edward Waters.
So all those comments that you all
There's a ball that's hit towards left field, and coming over for Junior Sanchez to cut that off.
Hold on, don't be modest. You know, just want to, you know, for all those people out there, you know, writing for Brian and, you know, and making sure you guys, you know, shout out to him. Make sure you shout out our camera crew for everybody bringing you these angles today. Look at that, man. You shut the broadcast down. You got some more. Don't delete that, man. Don't delete all the comments. You're trying to delete all the comments. He's trying to delete all the comments for himself. I don't like that. They're going to see him. Once it's on the internet, it's on the internet. You can't delete them, Brian.
You're too much. Shout out to Julie Baez. And she gives a shout out to her son, Joselito Baez, number 27. Obviously his number one supporter.
Mom was always my biggest supporter. I mean, Dad came to all the games, but when Mom came, you knew Mom came. You know what I'm saying? Mom came. That's a great bunt.
There's a bunt attempt there. Great bunt. And good job of advancing the runners. Nice bunt laid down by
Keelan
Washington.
And there's a sacrifice with 2 outs. You know, a lot of coaches sometimes don't turn to the 1-out sacrifice. They usually turn to the 0-out sacrifice or the drag bunt. But I like Coach Washington's strategies there. You know, with a guy like Pass coming up, who's also 0 for 2, but he's also been getting some good wood on the ball. You know, he has a shot to drive in an RBI right now. And, you know, try to get 1 run right here. You got 5 more innings left to play with. And there it is right there. That might work.
That might drop.
Yeah,
nope. Right fielder comes in. Jalen Young. Thought it might slice and fall, but no such luck. So no runs on 1 hit, 1 runner left on base, no errors. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. You're watching the Tyson Foods Black College World Series on the Black College Sports Network.
We're all about feeding your family with meat and plant-based protein that's good for the planet, good for you, and just plain good. That's all the protein you need, all on your plate.
For 5-star backyards, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
Meet Jessica Moore. Jessica was born to care. She always had your back. Like the time she spotted the neighbor kid, an approaching car, a puddle, and knew there was going to be a situation.
That's my best friend. She don't need no lift, drive her own car.
Miss Hogan's class? Yeah, it's Atlantis. Nice. I don't think they had camels in Atlantis.
Really? Today, she's a teammate at Truist, the bank that starts with care. When you start with care, you get a different kind of bank.
It's like a loot machine. All around town, people trying to get down.
Top of the lineup, leading off for Florida Memorial here in the bottom of the 5th inning with a 4-1 lead. Rohandri Javier.
Got to shout out the pitching staff to Edward Waters. You know, last night, Aishan pitched a complete game victory there for the Tigers. Got out of it in that last inning after giving up 4 runs. And you got to wonder, you know, how long can Bryant go today, you know, for the Edward Waters Tigers, you know, not only in a possible winning effort, but, you know, just in case it doesn't work out their way, you know, how much pitching are they saving for tomorrow's matchup, you know, once they have to come to the loser bracket, if they lose or, you know, and if they win, I mean, they've got some options here for saving that bullpen.
1 ball and 1 strike by Anthony Bryant.
You know, tournament time is all about the sticks and scoring runs, but you also got to have some depth in the pitching staff, Brian. You know you can't get through it with 4 or 5 pitchers. I mean, unless you just got 5, you know, Greg Maddux or John Smoltz type guys, or in your era, Doc Gooden or you know, John Franco, or, you know, some of those guys from the Mets pitching staff, Frank Viola. You know, it's nothing like having one of those crafty lefties on your team.
2-2 pitch. Javier right to the first baseman. And can he outrun him?
Oh,
no,
wow.
He's out. Montez had to get on his horse and beat out the speedy Javier, who went diving for the base.
Or should I say Brett Saberhagen, you know, some of your old school guys, man.
I had a Brett Saberhagen rookie card.
Are you serious?
Part of the 85
Tops
set.
How much is it
Turned
worth
out
now?
to be worth nothing. Turned out to be worth nothing.
Well, he got a World Series ring, I think.
Did he?
With the Royals? Was he on the Royals in 85?
Yeah, but, you know. I don't know if there's anything in that set that's worth anything. You know, it used to be the McGuire, Clemens, and there's a shot right to the second baseman. Nobles, he sends it over to first, and Rodriguez, he's out.
You know my most expensive baseball card? Ken Griffey rookie.
You were able to get one of those.
87 Fleer.
Okay, you were able to get one of those.
I still have it to this day.
Hey, they say that's one of the gems of the baseball card industry.
Now the corners weren't all edged, you know, by the time I got to a certain age, but I didn't know that meant a lot, but now I do. Mint condition.
Look, even the non-mint conditions are selling for something, you know.
Kids don't have baseball cards anymore. You know, I bought a pack of.
They do have baseball.
Yeah, well, I mean, they got them, but I mean, kids don't collect them like we used to back in the day. You used to take them to school, trade them with your friends.
No, they do that with different cards now. They do that with Pokemon.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they do it with Pokemon and Magic.
Jalen Young at the plate here for Florida Memorial. 2 balls, no strikes. And he takes that one, and now it's a 3-0 count.
Trivia question. I like that. Type in the chat your most expensive or one of your favorite baseball cards. For all you former baseball players who collected baseball cards, let us know what was your most favorite baseball card? The best baseball card you ever had. Did you have a Babe Ruth rookie or Connie Mack rookie card or Hornets Wagner, which is one of the most expensive cards in history? Willie Mays was a good one. My dad had a Willie Mays rookie, Oakland A's. Reggie Jackson was a pretty good one.
Yeah, my dad collected a lot of those too. Still trying to go through and figure out what's what with a lot of those. Because he has cards on cards on cards. Craig Yarbrough sending a shout out to the Lions. Leighton Yarbrough, number 26.
That might fall. That's trouble. He's already got a triple already.
He's going for 2. Young is sliding into second base. Into the deep corner of left there. So Jalen Young gets aboard with 2 outs.
And that's what I call gap-to-gap power. We saw in his last at-bat he went into the right field corner. Now into his last at-bat he goes into the left field corner. Great piece of hitting there by Jalen Young. He's got a triple and a double. Now, Brian, all he needs for the cycle is a single and a home run.
Jeremiah Clark said a Jose Lynn card L-A-N-D? I don't think that's worth anything. What is that worth?
Shortstop for the Giants, I believe. Actually the Pirates. I want to say he played Pirates. Jose Lynn, second baseman, shortstop type guy.
Of course, Barry Bonds rookie might be worth something.
Pirates, that was about 86, I think, maybe 85. Out of Arizona State.
Axel Gomez at the plate now with a runner on second, trying to grow this lead. It's 4-1 right now for Florida Memorial. Pulls it, going to left field. It's out of here. Left fielder didn't even bother taking a step. Second home run of the tournament for Gomez as he takes the slow stroll around the base pads. That, my friend, might be the quickest shot we've seen in this tournament because that ball got out of here like it had somewhere to go.
Great job there by Axel Gomez to wait on his pitch. Got to pitch up in the zone, and that's like when you were on MLB The Show, you got the red and you got the cold spots. He hit his red zone, and quickly did it get out to the 42 sign. One of my favorite numbers. Possible baseball card future if I can collect that with number 42, Jackie Robinson. Great job right there by Gomez from Florida Memorial University.
Definitely went to the train tracks. You know, if we would have had a train going by, that might have definitely hit the train.
Yeah, I saw in the first game one of the guys from Miles hit the train early on.
Oh, did he? Okay, I couldn't see where it ended up. And there's a ball. That's a high pop-up. Is it going to stay in play? Oh, up again. Did he catch that?
No, he didn't. He dropped it. But great job there by Roman, the catcher. You know, he kind of made sure he knew where he was. Did you see his hand out, feeling out for the wall? So he really didn't hit it as hard as he could have. So great job by Roman not to get distracted by that wall and get hurt by that wall, actually. But that's the type of player Gomez is, you know, Brian. He's going to hurt you in tough situations. You know, he's going to be an all-conference kid. He's an all-academic guy. You know, I think this kid could possibly be ready to play at the next level.
Junior Sanchez right towards the first baseman, Montez. It gets by him into right field. And he's going to get in there to second base as a right fielder. Washington has a little bit of trouble fielding that ball.
Well, good job right there by Sanchez. When he rounded first base, he was in the hot zone. What is the hot zone? Looking to get two off the bat. So when he turned the base, he took an extra secondary. He wanted to challenge the right fielder. He wanted to challenge Washington. He wanted to challenge Jalen Young. He wanted to challenge Washington. And when he challenged Washington, he won. Washington wasn't able to pick it up cleanly, so therefore he got a chance to get the second as quick as he could. Good heads-up play there by Sanchez.
I could see that he was watching how Washington was going to field that ball.
Correct.
And the minute he saw him kind of stumble a little bit, he was gone.
Correct.
And as you said, put the pressure on Washington to field that cleanly. So now Luis Ruiz, the second baseman, comes up. Nobody in the bullpen for Edward Waters.
No, I don't think at this point, you know, you're down 6-1. You let him go as long as he can. You know, you got to save your bullpen for tomorrow, definitely now. Because you got one more bullet. You know, and then you're going to see a possible Rust or a Talladega team again, you know, who may not have the pitching that you need anyway. So I think Edward Waters likes his chances right here. Coach Johnson likes his chances with Bryant staying in the game.
Our stats and research department came in earlier to remind me that Florida Memorial has won 4 out of the 5 meetings in this series.
That's this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I actually thought it was the opposite, but I think I was thinking about Edward Waters in a series against somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
Jacksonville, Miami, only about 5 hours away from each other. I'm sure it was a 3-game set in there and a doubleheader.
That one might have skipped off the hand of the catcher as he looks to be in a bit of pain there.
And you'll see the umpire walking the ball out to the pitcher to give him some rest time.
Anthony
Roman.
Roman.
Need to call out the trainer on that one. He's kind of holding his hand here. The ball or the bat may have got him in a place where he didn't need to be, but I'm sure he's a catcher, so he's pretty tough. He's going to try to see if he can kind of catch. He'll give him some practice pitches. Will the umpire do it?
See if he can throw it. See if he can throw it, yeah.
And he may want to check that one more time. He may need a couple of more throws.
Yeah, I'd ask for a couple more. Let me throw that again. Let me see if I can throw it to second. Yeah, he's good. Let's see if that ball would have died like a duck. Yeah, you might have been worried.
Well, I mean, even if he had a concussion, I think he would have told everybody he was okay.
I don't think he got hit in the head.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, no matter how bad his hand hurts right now, he's in a playoff game, and we never get hurt in a playoff game. You're never hurt.
Never hurt.
I'm good. I'm good. You know that phrase. I'm good, coach. I'm good, coach.
Deuce is wild here. That pitch is high. Luis Ruiz standing in. A couple more folks chiming in, talking about having that Griffey rookie card, the upper deck version, as well as a Barry Bonds rookie by Jorge Borges, that Barry Bonds rookie. Well, if you've got that, man, you put that on a glove, and that hits him right on the left shoulder. It hits Ruiz right on the left shoulder.
Who's got that Barry Bonds rookie again?
I think it would be
okay,
Burgos.
I see. Yeah, all right. We need to talk.
Now, I don't know if he has the rookie. He may just be simply pointing it out.
Oh, no, I think he has it. I asked everybody what was your favorite card. And
okay.
Yeah, hopefully they put it. Somebody else, what did somebody else put above that? Oh, that's the King Griffey upper deck. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, which year was that upper deck? Was that the 87 upper deck or 86?
No, 89.
Charleston, oh.
Let's see what we have here as...
Well, he got a chance to play with his dad. His dad played all the way, I think, to 89. Mm-hmm. And they were the first father-son combo to go yard. Remember, I think his dad, he went, his dad went yard.
Same game?
Yeah, it was the same game. It was the next at bat. It was the same lineup. It was the same time through the order.
Wow.
Yeah, Griffey hit one, and then his son hit one and showed him up. Yeah, he said his father put him on punishment for showing him up. Could you believe that, playing with your dad in the same lineup, man? And I think that's what, I hate to change the subject, but I think that's what LeBron wants to do.
I think so too. Yeah. When you bring that up, I don't think there's.
I got a chance to play a game with my dad. Luckily, it was semi-pro game.
Yeah.
But he played in the same. Look, my dad played second, I played short, and my brother played third. My brother played first. Yeah, family affair. Yeah.
Fernando Vila steps in. 2 runners aboard for Florida Memorial with 2 outs. That ball is lifted. That's going to be a foul ball going into the stands.
Can't wait to play in the game with you one day.
No.
But I'm not going to let you get picked up last this time. I got you. You're going to be my first pick when we're playing pickup game.
I appreciate it. Just put me in right field where all the stars go.
Like Vladimir Guerrero,
yeah.
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just put me out in right field.
You know who's still pitching? I'll wait till after this to tell you.
Runners are going on the move to third. Now, I wonder if that is a case of seeing how well Roman's hand is.
Absolutely. Why not? You challenge him.
I haven't seen a double steal all tournament.
If you're in the game, then you've got to play in the game. I mean, no matter how hurt you are or whatever it may be, if you're in there, you're in there. We're going to take advantage of it. We're going to exploit it. Ichiro Suzuki still playing.
What?
Yeah, I mean, not professionally, but, still playing with high school kids and college kids over there in Japan. Have you seen girls baseball, man, in Japan? Oh, my goodness. They've got some players over there.
Fernando Vila standing in there. 2 balls, 1 strike. Anthony Bryant. There is some work being done in the Edward Waters bullpen if Bryant can't get out of this. The pitch to the plate. That ball is hit towards center. Pass coming in. It drops right in front of him. 1 run comes in. 2 runs right on his heels. And it's an 8-1 ball game for Florida Memorial. Both runners were going on contact. Second base was literally probably 5 steps behind the runner in front of him.
Yeah, great job by Vila right there just to keep the inning alive there for the Lions. Got a pitch outside and just stuck his bat out there. As Nick Finch likes to say, let the ball work for you. As we like to say in baseball, hit the ball where it's pitched. Good job by placing it right in front of the center fielder. 2-run RBI. There you go.
Looks like we have a truest call to the pin.
That's going to do it.
As that's going to do it for Anthony Bryant. as Coach Reggie Johnson gives over the ball.
Yeah, he went as far as he can go today. You know, he just had some trouble. You don't want to let the game get too out of hand right now. So, you know, had he maybe gave up 1 or 2, you kind of leave him in, kind of keep him going. But when you give up 4, you got to just have a change of pace. You know, not really sure who you're going to in the bullpen. But for the most part, you just need a fresh arm in there just to try to get out of this inning.
Nathaniel Shermer gets the call to come in relief of Anthony Bryant here, the sophomore from Orange Park, Florida. Went to Orange Park High School.
Is that around your way? I'm thinking of Winter. I'm thinking
still part of the Jacksonville.
Okay. I'm thinking of Winter Park and Winter Haven.
Winter Park is more of my area.
Yeah.
Winter Haven's a little further away from me. Yeah.
You're actually in Orlando.
I'm actually,
city limits?
Not really city limits.
No? Okay.
Next county out, but still considered.
You guys claim a lot of counties in Florida, man. You guys love I mean, we don't go in Texas and Illinois. We don't go claiming Cook County, Harris County. You know, you guys claim a lot of counties. Are you in Polk County?
No.
That's south of you.
That is, I don't know, southwest.
Okay. You guys claim a lot of counties in Florida.
Well, look, there's so many little cities and municipalities. What I discovered in my county alone, Seminole County, there are 8 different cities. They all have their. It's crazy. It's crazy. This is what kills me about Florida. For those of you who are watching and interested who don't know about Florida, we should talk about this. Obviously, we have 2 Florida schools here.
Absolutely.
So this is all relevant. Just in case you're wondering what these guys are rambling about, it's all relevant to the state of Florida.
Matter of fact, rep your county in the chat right now. Please rep your county since we're here.
Your municipality.
Everybody that's in Dade County, that's where Florida Memorial is, and I think Zara Waters would be Duval County.
I think Florida Memorial's in Broward County.
No, it's Dade. It's Dade. Broward is just north. Yeah. So Dade County, I know the counties because everybody claims them down
out of my area. All right, here we go. Raphael.
And correct me if I'm wrong on the Jacksonville or Edward Waters being in Duval County for those of you out there. Thank you. It is Duval.
The one big county is Duval. Raphael Ferreira is stepping in here in the box here for Florida Memorial with Fernando Vila on first. New pitcher is Nathaniel Shermer.
Ferrara with 2 barrels to the center fielder already. He looks to kind of piece it up this time and maybe get it to drop. Let's see what type of adjustment that he makes at the plate. You know, possibly looking for something that he can get a barrel on, but maybe, like I say, use his hips, kind of hit those gaps for him. Let's see if he can do that here.
The 1-1 pitch. Skips in the dirt. I don't think he got it out of his hand cleanly.
Yeah, it looks like he's having a little trouble. May need to use that rosin bag back there to kind of get a fresher grip on that ball.
Shermer comes in with a 6.28 ERA, 2 wins in 12 appearances. Only started 1 game. Checks the runner at first.
Somebody did rep their county. Or was she? I think she was just putting the county that Edward Waters was in. Gotcha. Yeah, that's she's from SoCal.
I don't know. Karen may be repping Duval. Duval represents Duval.
No, Karen's from SoCal. So I think she may be LA. Are you LA County?
In SoCal.
Well, I know what county she's in. Is she in LA County or is she in Orange County? Or I like for everybody to rep their county across the nation.
The 3-1 pitch outside, and Shermer walks his first batter.
1989 was the Griffey rookie card, I think Charles Snow was saying. Or was that the year him and his dad went yard in the same game? It was in the Kingdome. Kingdome's been open since the late 70s, early 80s.
No, Kingdome is not open anymore.
Well, I said it was. It was open.
They blew that thing up.
Well, yeah, because your Seahawks used to play there.
Yeah, look at you. Courtesy runner coming in here for Memorial. Number 4, Jamal Johnson is now on first.
And as we talked about, that is an NAIA, rule that you have a courtesy runner for the catcher and the pitcher. So anytime the catcher reaches base, 0 outs, 1 out, or 2 outs, you can put the courtesy runner in the contest.
Nathan Harris, the DH, has 2 on with 2 outs.
I don't ever remember being used as a courtesy runner.
Is that I hate to call it an insult, but it's a badge of honor to be used as a courtesy?
No, I mean,
some people might think that.
Well, you kind of got to set your roster a certain way, You may want to take, a certain amount of hitters and, somebody just to kind of run bases. I mean, that's a skill you got to have. We talked about it yesterday. The MLB has actually implemented a base running coordinator for most of their teams. So you can find, Brian Fulford, the base running coordinator for the New York Mets. You see what I'm saying? So that's actually a skill to have, and it's something that can be taught, which wouldn't be a bad job for you, by the way.
2 balls. There's a strike. I think there's some jobs that you have to look the part. You have to look like you maybe stole a base.
Okay, who's your most memorable?
Not a candy bar or a piece of candy.
Who's your most memorable stolen base leader or stolen base guy back in MLB?
Vince Coleman. Vince Coleman.
Vince Coleman?
Vince Coleman.
Wow, that's a good one. He was one of the best.
He was a pest to the Mets back in my 80s. Remember, trust me, I told you the Mets were my team in the 80s, and I used to hate the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah, Vince Coleman, leadoff guy from the Cardinals. Exactly.
Got folks representing Duval County, L.A. County now.
Yeah, there she is.
Karen was Duval.
Yeah.
I told you, people in Duval
she used to live in Duval.
Yes,
okay, gotcha.
Yes,
all right.
People in Duval rep Duval hard. And, of course, now she's in L.A. County.
Palm Beach County. All right, now that's up north of Broward. I do know my counties in South Florida. You got Dade at the bottom, Broward in the middle, and then you got Palm Beach up top.
Bases are loaded for Florida Memorial here with 2 outs. Still just trying to get out of this inning. And
Do you remember your county growing up in Indianapolis?
I do. It's still there. Rohandri Javier, it's the main county that the city is in.
What's that, Indiana County? Or?
Marion County.
Marion County, okay. Yeah. Right, because there's a Marion Central High School there.
And he hit him on the right thigh, and so the run comes in. And the lead grows to
9.
9-1.
Mm-hmm.
Shermer has just not, the ball just has not been coming out of his hand cleanly. You talked about the guys needing to make sure they have a good feel of the rosin bag to just make sure you get a good feel for the ball. He does not look comfortable at all, and this game could implode on him real quick if he can't get the 1 out that he's been called in here to get. And see, when I say that, there's a pass, wild pitch. And it's because, again, the ball is coming out of his hands, and it's not coming off the field. Look, I'm not even a pitcher, and I can tell it's not coming off. It's like a jump shot. It's like if you shoot a jump shot from your palm, and you don't have it sitting up on your fingertips, it'll go flat. And I'm looking at him throwing that ball, and I can see the ball is in his palm, and it's not getting off of his fingertips the right way.
Now, you didn't tell me you were a sharpshooter in high school.
I coach basketball.
You didn't tell me you shot like Stephen Curry in high school.
I had, before Stephen Curry, there was a young man that I used to have a videotape, and I used to study his form shooting.
Reggie Miller.
Before Reggie Miller.
Oh, wow.
Well, Reggie Miller was a West Coast guy.
He was.
So I had to go with the hometown guy.
Larry Bird.
No, Larry Bird was this was after Larry Bird. So it would have been a young man by the name of
Miller.
Stephen Alford. Alford, greatest
Went to Indiana?
Yeah, greatest shooter in many people will say one of the greatest shooters in the great state of Indiana. And here comes Coach Johnson. Looks like his bullpen might be ready. I don't think he's gonna wait around. So a tough afternoon for Nathaniel Shermer.
Can I ask a question?
You can. Let's see what we have here. Another truest call to the pin. I think this will be more of a huddle. Maybe just kind of figure out why he might be having some trouble.
Well, he's just kind of giving his pitcher some time to warm up inside the bullpen. He actually may make a change. Giving him a couple more seconds to throw a couple more pitches, try to make sure he's ready. Not having a good day out there coming out the bullpen. You got to throw strikes, like you talked about. You just got to throw strikes, and as the umpire will come ask what he's going to do, Coach Johnson will let the umpire know what he wants to do. Let's see if he makes the change. Oh!
He does make the pin, so it looks like we've got another truest call to the pin.
He went Lou Piniella out there.
Coach Johnson and Nathaniel Shermer. There'll be more days and better opportunities.
He already came off the field.
Looks like our new pitcher. Number 19 coming into the ball game for Edward Waters, Nolan Davenport. It's a freshman from Kingsland, Georgia, went to Erskine College before coming over to Edward Waters.
Yeah, good school at the D2 Sunshine Conference in Florida there.
Somebody said Jackson.
If there's anybody...
At Tyson, we know taste is local.
Well, we're going to stick with the action. Thought we might step away for a moment, but looks like we're going to stay here during this truest call to the pin.
I want to reference before we left, before that pitching change, I know we were kind of representing the counties. If there's anybody watching from an international standpoint, some of these teams, both of these teams, Brian, have some international flavored kids. That's one thing that we're going to see here in this World Series. A lot of kids from outside the country. I mean, Puerto Rico, although it is part of the U.S., but we still have kids from Puerto Rico as well. Venezuela, Colombia, maybe Dominican Republic. Some of the baseball countries. Curacao, we have a couple of kids from Australia on the Albany State team. So if there's anybody watching outside the country limits, please make sure you type in the chat where you're watching from. We definitely like to shout you guys out and just kind of make sure that you feel comfortable, and we thank you for watching, this broadcast.
Jeremiah Clark watching from Collin County in the DFW.
Ah, from DFW.
Charleston, no, in the 305. Of course, Miami-Dade.
Anybody from Harris County down in H-Town? Harris County or Fort Bend County in that area?
Ulysses Rodriguez steps in. Runners are on second and third. Score is 10-1 here for Florida Memorial here in the bottom of the fifth inning.
And something you don't see as much, although it does happen, a pitcher taking over for a pitcher already that has started a count. So taking over with the 1-0 count.
Good point.
And he's working a little hot too.
Yeah, it's a big disadvantage walking in with runners on and you're dealing with somebody else's count. Doesn't get more challenging than that.
Luckily Mike Trout isn't up at the plate.
Ball three. Right now, you're just trying to find somebody who can throw strikes and get it across the plate. Ulysses Rodriguez probably will sit on this pitch here with first base open. Called strike there. There's a strike. Good job by Davenport.
I wouldn't mind you swinging at that pitch right there, 3-0. You got a chance.
You would have swung at
that?
Yeah,
I give him a green light there because we're also playing the 10-run rule here, and the more runs the more pitches you can save in a 7-inning game, it might work in your favor.
Well, he gets hit, so he took that one for the team as he gets hit on the left, probably left thigh, left leg.
Yeah, not to mention, you got Jalen Young coming up. So it's not a bad thing to take that pitch right there. You got your 3-hole hitter coming up with bases loaded. That's even more deadlier spot. I'm not a fan of the unwritten rule, Brian. You know me. I'm a non-traditional. I'm not an unwritten rule type guy. You don't need to. I don't need to take with 3-0, stop scoring runs. I'm not a fan of all that. So I don't know if Jeremiah still wants to come, check us out at, at the school I'm at. I'm not sure. But I'm just not a fan of the non-traditional, or the traditional unwritten rules.
Hit right towards first base. Good piece of fielding there by Isaiah Montez to dive for it, and good job by Davenport to get over and step on the base pad. So that's how this inning comes to an end. Well, 6 runs scored by Florida Memorial. Florida Memorial. We head to the top of the 6th inning. Our score is 10-1. You're watching the Tyson Foods Black College World Series on the Black College Sports Network.
At Tyson, we know taste is local. Some like their beef pit smoked, their chicken spiced all the way up, or their pork sweet and saucy. Local flavors, global impact. That's what feeding the world is all about.
We're opening the door to better financial services, better experiences, better partnerships, better technology, better communities, and a better future.
For 5-star backyards, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
It's like a loop machine. All around town, people trying to get down.
Heading to the top of the 6th inning. Leading off for Edward Waters, number 17, Aquarius Tompkins. And that one's called strike 2. Juan Raul Hernandez. Got to slow down, make sure I say that properly. Doing a great job pitching, and there's a ball that's hit towards Gomez. Scoops it up. Going to his left, gets it over to first. Axel Gomez flashing the glove.
You can see the maturity in that play there by Axel Gomez to, try to have his movement, stay kind of low to the ball. Try to do his best Fernando Tatis impression is what I like to call it. Just kind of stay low, center of gravity, got his weights up, got his hips in, and had the balance to make that throw over to first base. That's what I like about it. It's the balance that makes you put the throw on the mark.
Peyton Schubert with the fly ball out to left field on his first pitch swinging. So now 2 away. I was just going to ask you, how tough is that play? You being a coach, I'm sure that's one of those things you always are working on, being able to move to your left and somehow find your balance to first.
Brian,
without spraying that ball into the bleachers.
Well, not only am I a coach, but I was also a shortstop, in my day. So I can kind of tell you how that play actually went.
Okay, yeah, I can tell.
No, but for the most part, I think, and that's one thing that Coach Tino works on with his guys every day. He always talks about, defensive practice and understanding the mode of, trying to get to the ball, moving left, moving right, having that lateral movement. That's a big deal here in baseball. A guy like Axel Gomez, he can move left, he can move right. You're going to see him get to all the balls. But the throw, it's the gather. It's the fact that you can kind of stop, or not necessarily stop, but gather. You can gather yourself and make the perfect throw across the diamond. And you see, he put that sidearm kind of into it, so he can get that angle where it comes. You're going to see the first. It's going to go outside. It's going to go towards the right field area of first base.
Leonel Garcia facing a 1-2 foul. First baseman going over towards that's going out of bounds.
Because the natural movement of that fastball from a righty is going to go away. You know what I'm saying? It's going to kind of go away.
1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning.
I'd like to shout out Barry Larkin. He actually works with those guys over at Florida Memorial as well.
Oh, he does?
Yep.
Okay.
Jazz Chisholm works out over there in Miami Gardens, rather.
There's another ball that might have skipped off of the hand of Rafael Ferreira.
How would you like to tell folks that Barry Larkin was my infield coach?
I mean, that's pretty big.
I had his baseball card, too, by the way. I had a couple Barry Larkin cards. Matter of fact, I may need to walk those cards over there and have him sign them some.
You should.
I will.
There's a swinging strike. And the strikeout for Hernandez ends the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on the base pads. We head to the bottom of the sixth. Coming up for Florida Memorial. You're watching the Tyson Foods Black College World Series on the Black College Sports Network.
Hi, Simone.
For 5-star backyards, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
This is Ryan Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
It's like a loop machine. All around town, people trying to get down.
Leading off the bottom of the sixth inning for Florida Memorial, shortstop Axel Gomez. Gomez last at bat sent a rocket over the left field wall and out of the stadium, matter of fact.
Almost
onto the train.
Almost hit the number 42 sign there.
Yeah.
Jackie Robinson.
And it got out of here in a hurry, too. So
one of my favorite I like the original Jackie Robinson story.
The original?
The original one. The good one, I mean, Chadwick Boseman did an awesome job in 42. But remember Jackie in the original, the black and white one? You didn't catch that
was
one.
He? You know what? I think I did. I think I know what you're talking about.
The original Jackie Robinson story.
Where he actually he played himself?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And as you know, Jackie Robinson also coached. Do you know what HBCU he coached women's basketball at? Good trivia question there. We'll get your fans out there about 5 minutes to kind of look that up and
let's give that to people in the top of the seven. Let's not give that one away.
No, we'll ask right now.
Right.
If you're listening, put in the chat what HBCU Jackie Robinson coached women's basketball at.
And don't Google. Stay away from Google.
Well, I mean,
obviously I could go Google it, but I'm just saying.
They can too. We don't know if they're not Googling or not.
Okay. Well, I'm just calling for some integrity.
I mean, Simone may not want to, she may want to go look up Google.
3 balls and 2 strikes.
We had our first international person chime in. That's Simone Knowles from the Bahamas.
The 3-2 to Gomez. High, and that'll be number 4.
You been to the Bahamas yet?
That'll send. I don't want to talk about where I've never been, Nick.
Oh, wow. Well, we're going to get there.
It's pretty depressing.
They got some baseball over there.
That's what I hear.
They got baseball over there.
The 4, 5, 6 batters for Florida Memorial are up here. That's Gomez Junior Sanchez, who's coming up to bat, and Luis Ruiz. Fernando Villa will be the cleanup should he, which is very likely unless there's a double play here, will get a chance to come up.
Junior Sanchez, a grad student over there at Florida Memorial, one of the better hitters inside this lineup. Has been there for a while.
The 0-1.
One thing you see I like that he does, he moves that bat. I know some coaches don't teach moving that bat, but, you know, sometimes that bat helps you with rhythm and timing. You know, so once you're able to time up that pitch, you kind of know that, hey, when I move my bat back, I need to get started. When I move my bat up, whichever way that he feels, you know. So sometimes all those extra things that come in batting stance has to do with timing, because that's what you do when you're a hitter. When you're a good hitter, it's all about timing. That fastball is timed. It takes a certain amount of time for the fastball to get to you.
The 0-2 pitch is fouled off.
Which is why I think I'd be a good hitter in the MLB. I mean, when you're hitting against Aroldis Chapman, all you have to do is time them up. 103 miles per hour. If you time it up the right way, you could get a hit.
Can you study film? Can you study film and time that up?
I believe through technology you can, if it's in real time. If it's in real time. And I think that's what technology and internet can do for you nowadays. He wanted to there. He wanted to. And, you know, you got so many batting systems, you know, hit tracks, Rapsodo, you know, all these things that, you know, you can kind of do with, you know, hitting and, you know, launch angles and timing. You know, there's so many, and even some apps on your phone. I mean, there may be some apps that come out tonight, you know, but there's so much technology in the world of hitting right now that, you know, there's no one right way to hit. And we have to remember that. There's no one right way to hit the ball.
1 ball and 2 strikes by Davenport. And that's outside. 2-2 is the count now. Nolan Davenport on the mound for Edward Waters.
So many hitting coaches out there, you know, teaching launch angle. They teach hands. They teach weight transfer. You know, there's no one right way to hit the ball. But if you can get the timing together and you get hits, 3 out of 10, you're a Hall of Famer, no matter how you get them.
The 2-2 pitch by Davenport. He decides to go back over to first again, try to keep Gomez honest.
I like to see Sanchez kind of pull something right here between first and second base if you can. Oh.
Called strike. Punched him out. Caught him looking on that one as Sanchez goes down looking.
The kids call that punchy nowadays in the college baseball realm. He just kind of got him right there looking on the inside corner. I think Sanchez has got to be swinging at that pitch next time. He'll make the adjustment next time he comes back up to bat. That's just what type of batter he is.
Luis Ruiz, second baseman, stepping in now. Facing the right-handed throwing Nolan Davenport.
10 runs today for the Lions, but only 8 hits. A lot of hit-by pitches and a lot of walks so far here for the Lions.
Back over to first to check the runner.
And the Tigers pitching staff continue to struggle with location on the mound today. You know, as a bullpen guy myself in college, one thing I prided myself on was, and I know it's cliche, but throwing strikes. And sometimes as a pitcher, you don't want to throw too many strikes because the hitters are going to know that, you know, it's in the strike zone. We need to start swinging more. But for the most part, I can tell you I kept the ball out the dirt. You know, and I think that's what you don't want to see. You want your guys to have a chance. And for them to have a chance, you can't walk anybody. You have to have the defense make a play. If you're a pitcher, you want to stay away from walks. Give your defense a chance to at least make a play. Now, whether you give up the hits or the home runs or the doubles or the singles or the triples, whatever it may be, we get it. but you don't want to give anybody a free base. I think that's the issue here that we're trying to worry about. The free base is what you want to stay away from.
Fernando Vila, first baseman, comes to the plate. 2 runners on. I think that's about the 3rd or 4th hit batter that Florida Memorial has had over the last couple of innings.
Yeah, that's the 3rd. You got 2. Ruiz actually has 2, and Javier was hit by 1 as well.
The 0-1 by Davenport. Down in the dirt, got by him. Runners are going to head over to 2nd and 3rd, standing. Well, we have to go 7 innings, but we just need 1 run. And this could very well be Florida Memorial's last at-bat. That ball was high, but it get lifted into center field. Center fielder has to get on his horse. Hat flies off. He's going to make a play to the plate.
I like that. I like that play. Offense and defense. I like Gomez over there on third base, forcing a throw from the outfield, making sure that the pressure is put on. And one thing I like to see next time, the pitcher didn't go back up behind home plate. He's got to remember in that situation, you've got to back up home plate in case that throw comes in just like it did and it gets past the catcher. If that ball gets past the catcher right there, this game could possibly be over next inning.
Well, I noticed that, and he actually almost cut it off trying to be the relay instead of backing up the catcher, as you say. And I'm just wondering, is that a call, or is that something you're supposed to know?
Well, I think
or should somebody be calling that?
Definitely something you know. You know, that's something you practice when you do your relay drills in the outfield. You know, you work on your cut plays and who's where and who's here and who's there. You know, and maybe, you know, that may sometimes, I guess, coaches are different. I'm not saying that's what it was, but, you know, I have seen the coach say the pitcher can be the cutoff man or the relay man, and it's okay. You know, every coach is different. But for the most part, generally you're taught to, you know, back up home plate and third base in those situations because you want to take the pitcher out to play. You know, we don't need you to get hurt. We don't need you to get hurt.
Rafael Ferrara.
It's kind of like Tom Brady throwing a block on a play action or a halfback toss or something, or halfback up. You want a quarterback to get out the way.
Check this swing. He did. They checked down at first base.
Unless you're Tyson Hill, right?
First base is open. 3 balls, no strikes here. Davenport, that ball just hits the ground.
Who was one of your favorite two-sport athletes? Was it Dion? I think he was one of mine. Brian Jordan?
What was Brian Jordan's second sport?
Football. I thought he played for the St. Louis Cardinals and the Braves.
Well, I remember Brian Jordan more as a football player.
Yeah, that's what I meant. He played football and baseball. He played baseball. He played baseball for the Cardinals, and he played football for the Falcons, I thought.
Nathan Harris, the DH, is at the plate here for Florida Memorial. Bases are loaded, 2 outs.
And Nathan Harris with a chance to break open this game right here. He's got to look for something, you know, a little higher in his wheelhouse. You know, nothing low. Want to stay away from the ground ball right here. You know, don't want the Tigers to have a chance to get a runner to get it out at any base to end the inning. You want to keep this inning going. You want to put the 10-run lead up right here. And even if you have to take a walk, you know, you're up 9. If you go into the top of the 7th up 10, you got a chance to close it out in the top half. And also, as we said about the other team, you got a chance to get out of this without using the bullpen.
2 balls and 1 strike, 2 outs, bases loaded. Harris is in no hurry to go chasing after this.
Yeah, Gomez playing with the catcher down there, trying to, just let him know I'm here. I want you to kind of try to pick me off, try to force a throw possibly.
3 balls, 1 strike.
See the bullpen working for the Tigers down there just in case.
The pitch to Harris. And there's our 10th run. Our 10 runs, rather. 11-1. Now it's a 10-run ball game, and so here in the bottom of the 6th, Florida Memorial comes up. They will have an opportunity to close it out. Looks like we've got well, don't want to speak too soon. Let's just see what Coach Johnson does here. Bases are loaded. We'll introduce you to the new pitcher for Edward Waters when we come right back out of this break. You're watching the Tyson Foods Black College World Series on the Black College Sports Network.
For 200 years, Montgomery, Alabama has been making history by people who had the courage to stand up for change. Today, this riverfront city has been reborn, embracing the past and looking forward to the future. From the National Memorial for Peace and Justice to the stage of the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, this is where history was and is made. We are proud to call Montgomery home, and together, we can be the change.
Mobile banking from Truist actually works for you. It gives you simple, smart, personalized insights to keep you one step ahead. Because we think that's the kind of control you deserve over your money. When you start with care, you get a different kind of bank. Truist. Download the mobile app now.
It's like a loop machine. All around town, people trying to get down.
All right, our new pitcher here for Edward Waters is number 30, Morris James. He's a freshman from Clewiston, Florida. Went to Clewiston High School.
And why not a situation to get this freshman in a postseason contest and get some good experience here for the young guy? Are you familiar with Clewiston, by the way?
I want to say yes, but
okay.
If it's near the Gainesville area, I think I have heard of it.
It's always a good thing to kind of get some, postseason numbers.
The 0-1 pitch. Chopped. Second base. I don't think he got there. Peyton Schubert tried to make a run at it from short to second, but he had to beat out Nathan Harris there, and he couldn't. So now the run scored. Bases remain loaded. It's 12-1. I wonder if he should have gone ahead and tossed that over to first.
Well, he kind of was in no man's land. He had one play, and his momentum was taking him towards the bag at second base. So you go ahead and try that one. I mean, if you take a throw, you take it over to first base, and you don't get him. I mean, I think it's the same way. It was a slower hit ground ball with good speed on the base path by Javier.
And there's a ball that's hit into right field by Rodriguez. 1 run comes in, 2 run comes in, and The lead grows.
Just a good piece of hitting right there by Rodriguez. You hit the ball where it's pitched. And taking the ball to the right side, for all you young men out there, that's a good place to go. Take it on that side, put your hands out, get you a little single and 2 RBIs. Lead is now 13 for the Lions. And like I said, if you can get out of this game, you can save some pitching, you can save some bullpen for tomorrow and maybe all day Saturday. I think the Lions put themselves in a good position here.
14 runs ties the most runs that Florida Memorial has scored against Edward Waters this season. Going back on April 5th, they defeated Edward Waters 14-9 in a doubleheader. Jalen Young now facing an 0-2 count. 2 outs here. Bottom of the 6th inning. Another multi-run inning here. 3 of the last 4 have been this way for Florida Memorial. The pitch to the plate is high. One ball and 2 strikes here. Morris James on the rubber for EWU. There's a ball that's hit towards right field. The right fielder has to adjust to it, and Kalen Washington does a good job of that. 4 runs scored, 2 runners left on the base pads, and we're heading to the top of the 7th. Should be the last three outs here of this contest, unless Edward Waters decides to put up some runs. You're watching the Tyson Foods Black College World Series on the Black College Sports Network.
We're all about feeding your family with meat and plant-based protein that's good for the planet, good for you, and just plain good. That's all the protein you need, all on your plate.
For 5-star backyards, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
Meet Jessica Moore. Jessica was born to care. She always had your back. Like the time she spotted the neighbor kid, an approaching car, a puddle, and knew there was going to be a situation.
That's my best friend. She don't need no lift, drive her own car.
Miss Hogan's class? Yeah, it's Atlantis. Nice. I don't think they had camels in Atlantis.
Really? Today, she's a teammate at Truist, the bank that starts with care. When you start with care, you get a different kind of bank.
It's like a loop machine. All around town, people trying to get down.
At Tyson, we know.
Isaiah Montez comes to the plate here.
Tigers need to score 4 to stay alive, just to give themselves a chance. And Montez 1 for 2 on the day. Let's see if he can start the spark here for the Tigers.
Wow.
Not the way you get the spark plug started, but any way helps.
Right on the back. So Montez gets on base. Hernandez hits his first batter. Bo Jackson, that was my guy.
Oh, wow. Was that somebody's favorite two-way player?
Karen Griffin.
Yep. Or two-sport athlete, rather.
And, you know, I never really, because Dion and Bo were just two different guys, you know. And I think I gravitated more towards Dion because he was playing for my Braves by the time we got to the 90s, you know.
I can't remember anything. The only one,
How about Dion's return to baseball? The home run game.
It's not in any of the bags.
Or what about the helicopter game?
The helicopter game was classic.
Played the baseball game, football game, same day.
Yeah, that's
now that's just. I think that does it all for me.
Yeah. Show me anyone else who could do that. It was a playoff game too, wasn't it?
Right.
Yeah, it's we're 27.
I think he played football 12 o'clock that day and baseball at
1 o'clock. 1 o'clock football game.
Yep.
And an 8 p.m. baseball game. It was a playoff game.
Yep.
Anthony Roman, the catcher, is here at bat here for Edward Waters with the runner on first.
I don't think we'll see that again. With all the money being thrown around now, all the investments, I don't think we'll see that again.
Yeah, I think at this point, if you're doing it, is it really why? You know, why would you have to examine why you're doing it? Foul ball.
I think they did it for the love, at that time.
At that time, they did it for love. Now there's so much money. There's so much money.
Bingo.
You can tell. Oh yeah.
There's a ball that's hit toward Gomez. 1, 2, and there's a nice executed 6-4-3 double play.
We talked about Gomez moving over to shortstop from third base, and he's been a mainstay at that position. Quick hands by the second baseman over there. Don't forget about him. That's Luis Ruiz to get the ball over to first base. Clean 6-4-3, and as we know, 6 + 4 + 3 in baseball always equals.
I'm sorry, I didn't
Okay,
I didn't
so
catch the numbers as I was.
6 + 4 + 3 in baseball equals what?
Oh my gosh, math. 6 + 4. That's 10, 13.
Oh man.
Did I catch that right there?
No, you didn't.
Okay. I'm focused on
Jeremiah, don't help him out. Let's just leave it alone.
Yeah.
We didn't get the trivia question. Anybody want to answer the trivia question, by the way? What HBCU did Jackie Robinson coach women's basketball at? Before we get off the air here, possibly.
How about Spellman? I'm going to go out on the
No,
list. Spellman?
No, not
okay.
Spellman. Not Spellman. Nobody tried to answer anywhere.
I don't see any answers here in the chat room, so why don't you go ahead and give us here? It was two strikes.
Houston Tillison.
Really?
Houston Tillison.
That's an interesting.
Remember,
how did that
he was
happen?
military. He was military, and there was a base in Texas that he was able to, be around, and he was able to coach basketball there.
Deuces Wild here.
He didn't go.
Did he go? They didn't want to get out of here, huh?
No, not yet.
Umpire said didn't want to go home.
Yeah, Jackie coached at Houston Tillison, coached women's basketball.
Interesting.
Yeah, very. And 6 + 4 + 3, Bryant equals 2.
You said 6 + 4
+ 3 equals 2 in baseball.
Okay. 6 + 4 + 2.
6-4-3 double play.
Oh, 6 + 4 + 3. Okay, all right. But you didn't say in baseball. You just said 6 + 4 + 3.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay,
it's 13.
All
right.
But if I were a baseball guy, I would have known that. So I'm with you.
You are a baseball guy.
With you.
If you were an old Mets fan, you're definitely a baseball guy. I mean, just so happens that you didn't get a World Series ring until a certain time. What was it, 03?
Hernandez strikes out the side. And that's how this one comes to an end. Juan Raul Hernandez goes a complete game, allowing 1 run on 4 hits. Florida Memorial finishes up with a 14-1 victory over their in-state rivals, and they will advance to the finals of the NAIA bracket. And so now they have to wait to see what happens here. Obviously, coming up later tonight, Talladega and Rust in an elimination game. The winner of that game will play Edward Waters tomorrow afternoon. And then the winner of that game will play Florida Memorial at night. So Edward Waters, if they want to get to the World Series, they're going to have to play 2 on Friday. They got to come up with 2 wins. And so we'll see how that plays out. But Nick, let's wrap this game up. Final thoughts here about Florida Memorial and Edward Waters here. Final score 14-1.
For the Florida Memorial Lions, I'm going to rely on the pitching. I think Juan Raul Hernandez got those guys through that contest. Again, chance to kind of save your bullpen. 1 run, 4 hits. I think he just pitched to Jim, kind of worked in and out, didn't really leave any stones unturned. Was just great, got in jam situations, was able to get out of the situation. And like I said, the complete game factor is just a good thing overall. I think for the Edward Waters Lions, I think, they just go back to the drawing board. They just got out of a tournament this weekend as well, so don't forget about that. They just came from the CAC Saturday and Sunday. So, we probably will see their number 1 and number 2 guys tomorrow if they've got enough rest. And plus their backs are against the wall. So, I kind of look for Edward Waters to be back in a championship game versus Florida Memorial. I really think they have a shot. And if they can get back to the top of their rotation, which is kind of oddly saying in this tournament, but if they can get back to their number 1 and their number 2, I think they got a good shot of overtaking Florida Memorial.
Well, coming up this afternoon, a pair of elimination games. First at 5 o'clock Central, 6 Eastern. We've got Kentucky State against Bluefield State. And then the nightcap is Talladega versus Rust. A pair of old GCAC rivals will match up for a chance to the winners will advance. For Albany State, it'll be their 3rd consecutive 9 a.m. contest. Gotta hate it for them, but that's what happens when you lose. Just kind of worked out that way on the bracket. So they'll play at 9 o'clock tomorrow against the winner of Kentucky State Bluefield. Edward Waters will play at 12:30 against the winner of Talladega and Rust down in the losers bracket. So that's where we're set up. I want to encourage you to make sure you guys come back at about, I'd say about 4:50, 4:55 at the latest, and get ready for game number 3 of day 2, or better known as Game 7. And so that's going to do it. Nick, you'll be calling that, so it'll be a doubleheader of Nick and Nick at night, I believe, right?
Yeah, that's definitely it.
Nick Finch and Nick Finch and
Nick Strong.
Nick Strong. I knew your last name. I just was trying to think of something cute and fancy there. But I'm just going to close this broadcast out. If you need me, I'll be around. But hopefully you won't. So that's going to do it for my broadcast partner, Nick Strong. I'm Brian Fulford. And thanks to our producers, our director, all our camera people. Come back and join us at about 5 o'clock for game number 3 of day 2 here. The Tyson Foods Black College World Series on the Black College Sports Network. Good afternoon, everybody.